Holy crap, I can't believe what you just got!
These are the best starters ever! What is up, guys? It is Russ here, PokeRuss here, and we are back for a different sort of Deck Tech Tuesday. So maybe today will be like a deck check. I don't know. So, what I did, so normally Deck Tech Tuesdays are a series where I go over a deck either submitted by one of you guys, of course all credit going to you guys, or created by like me or my crew, and we go over the deck, go over its strengths, weaknesses, how it works, and like different combos throughout the deck. But this week I decided, you know what, I actually need some of those yellow Bardocks. So, I picked up one of the... Crimson Saiyan starter decks. So, I'm like, okay, I want to do something cool with this. And I want to, like, sometimes the competitive nature of the game and stuff like that kind of leaves the local players out of the loop and all that kind of stuff. So what I kind of wanted to do was take this deck and kind of tweak it to a more where it can be more competitive, but you're also not sinking, $115 into Bardocks. You know what I mean? So this is like out of the gate. Kid comes in, it's like, oh man, I really like Dragon Ball. I kind of want to play Dragon Ball. Let's take this deck and edit it to be a little bit more viable. Because I'm not saying the deck's not viable out of the gate, but it could be a little bit better. So we'll go over this deck really quickly. We're not going to go too in depth into it because we're going to take some cards out of it. We're going to add some cards to it, change it up a little bit, and go from there. So the leader is the Golden Great Ape Son Goku. And spoiler warning, if you want to check the description box down below, there will be a deck list for this finished deck. If this gets a little confusing or anything like that, I tried to upspace a little bit so I can get more of the deck into focus. We have Great Ape Son Goku. When this card attacks a leader, draw one card. When you have 4 less life, flip this card over, or flip over 2 energy to active mode and flip this card over. So it flips into Long Odds Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. When this card attacks, draw a card. When you have life less than or equal to your opponent, this card gains 5,000 power and critical. This card's cool. This card is less relevant than it could be. Because of the nature of Storm and all those kind of decks and Self-Awakening and all that stuff, this deck doesn't really come with too much Self-Awakening in it. It comes with instant transmissions, but that's about it. Once the meta slows down a bit, this leader will be a bit more viable. So this is probably actually one of the cards we are going to be changing out, but it's not a bad leader. It's really cool, and its art is absolutely insane. Probably the best Super Saiyan 4 art we've gotten. Like I mean, I love the Super Saiyan 4 we've gotten, but that's probably the best art we've gotten. Okay, so the deck comes with 4 Grandpa Gohans, 1, 2, 3, 4 Chi-Chis, 1, 2, 3, 4 Intrepid Dynasty Son Gotens. 1, 2, 3, 4 Dependable Dynasty Son Goku. 1, 2 Unbroken Dynasty Son Goku. Lots of Son Gokus in this deck. Probably the highest count Goku we've ever set up Gokus we've ever gotten. We have 4 Prodigal Dynasty Son Goten. Also, nothing in this deck, as of recording this, cost over $10, so this is all pretty much family friendly. Power Charge Bardock. 2 of those. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Indomitable Dynasty Son Goku. 2 Ultimate Potential Son Gohan, 4 Plucky Dynasty Pan, which is your super combo. I like her super combo because she's useful in the deck and as a super combo. Obviously, you're never going to use her not as a super combo though. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Dynasty Defer Son Goku. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku at the Apex. 2 copies, 1 holo, 1 non-holo of Reborn Might Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku, 4 copies of Instant Transmission, and 2 of 10 times Kamehameha. If you see the cards that are sleeved, obviously you kind of are starting to get the idea that those cards are a bit more important, and those are cards that are actually going to make it into the next step. So out of the cards that we've shown, we're going to take these out, all the cards that didn't make the cut, and we'll go back with what's left from the deck, and then we'll go into what we're adding from the outside. So, start off, we're going with 4 Adoptive Father Son Gohans. So this is your non-Bardock. This is where it all starts. This is your swap 1 for 2. He's a blocker. He's super nice. Again, he doesn't take the life, which is good and bad. Life obviously adds more cards to your hand and stuff like that, and allows you to go more aggro. But 1 Bardock, a playset of Bardock is $115 while recording this, and 2. I mean, you're still going to be getting pluses off this deck anyway. So having a turn 1 blocker that pretty much pops back to your hand, you can just play it whenever you need to, or it's just super nice. So those 4 of those made it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your main turn 2. Intrepid Dynasty Son Goten or Gohan. So this is what you're going to go from. You're going to go from this into this. So he's swap 3. He pays 2. Goku's lineage with energy cost of 3 and put it into play. He also has barrier. So super nice barrier. As soon as you play him, you're probably not attacking. This deck, the way it works is your low stuff is going to be the stuff that ends up attacking. Like you're going to be going bigger and bigger and bigger, but if you need to protect your stuff and not have it get run over and stuff, sometimes you don't want to attack with it. So while you're doing that, you're having your leader, you're having your the second set, because the cool thing about swap is it always costs 1 less than what turn you're on, basically. So 2 to swap into a 3, you have 1 energy left over on your 3rd turn, stuff like that. Obviously you can go into it on your 2nd turn as well, but just kind of curve out like that. So Intrepid Dynasty Son Gohan, you're rocking 4 of those. Pretty much just pretty standard, has barrier. Next is your turn 3. One of your turn 3s. You have 4 copies of Indomitable Dynasty Son Goku. This is your swap. It only costs 2 to swap into 4, which is super nice again. It also has barrier, and it's 1500. Super nice. This is when you're actually getting into your stats. So this goes into this and goes into this. We'll put this over here. Your other turn 3 play, because your turn 3 is when you really start going. Even if you miss out on some of this stuff, if you hit your turn 3 and can go into your 4s and 5 and 6, that's where it really gets important. So swap 2, or swap 4, you pay 2 life or 2 yellow energy. Wow. When you play this card, choose one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards and KO it. Super nice, super strong turn 3 play, and this will be a nice combo play later on. So this is another card you can play as your 3 cost. Next, we kept the super combo. We only kept 2 super combos. We're actually going to be adding a different super combo in addition to this, just to make the deck more cheeky and have very competitive nature. And it's also important that you still have this live in case they side in Krona, because you guys know what card I'm talking about. So, obviously, you're never going to play this as a super combo, or I'm sorry, as a swap, but it also swaps 4 into 5. Your main 4 is going to be your 2 copies of Dynasty Defer Son Goku. He, for 3 energy, he swaps 5. He has barrier, as do most of the correct ones that curve up. And at the end of your turn, switches card to active mode. So this is one of the rare ones that you can go in, punch, and then at the end of turn he swaps back if you don't have the energy to make him bigger. So super nice, keeps him healthy, and the barrier keeps him from being targeted by certain things. So, and then next, we do have the 2 copies of Reborn Might Super Saiyan 4. These are 2 out of, I'm gonna say 3 of your boss monsters. There's a couple boss monsters in the deck, but This guy does go into swap 8. We do have a copy of swap 8 that we did put in the deck. I didn't want to put too many in because, again, access to these cards, like, if a new player's, he might be able to get his hands on, if he pulls something good out of his packs or whatever that he gets along with it or something, he might be able to trade for a level 8 because it's not pricey, but obviously he's not going to walk in there and get a 4 of. So, we didn't focus too much on that 8 cost, or even the big, obviously we didn't have the big ultimate from the deck, but this does swap 4 for 8, or swap into 8 for 4. Active main, once per turn, choose one of your life and add it to your hand, and switch this card back to active mode. If you have 2 or less life, this card gains triple strike. So, again, huge game finisher. If you only have 2 life left, and you're able to take a life and switch him back to active mode, and go in for a triple strike, that's 4 life you can break right there. He's super awesome. He's definitely one of the top curves in the deck. We also kept 2 of the 10 times Kamehameha, which is activate battle. If your leader is Goku's lineage with Son Goku in its character name, this card gains 15,000 power and double strike. Okay, so super nice. It basically says Super Champa, and a lot of this curve here, other than the triple strike right here, it doesn't have the double strike. So, and some of the cards we added also don't have the double strike as well. So this is pretty freaking awesome. So this can, if you use this with this, the first strike becomes double strike, and then the second one, it's 5 life right there. That's absolutely insane, the membrane. And then we did keep 4 instant transmission. This is your negate, and it's also a self-awakening. So for 1, counter attack, negate the attack. If your leader is Goku's lineage, and you activate this card's counter, you may choose one of your life and add it to your hand. If you do so, you may activate this card's counter without paying its energy cost. So you can play this for free, which is super nice. It means your opponent doesn't know when you have a negate in hand. So, like, they don't know, like, you know what I mean? There's certain times where, like, oh, he's tapped out, he doesn't have a negate, and then you can just drop this, take a life, help self-awaken yourself, and go in and go home. So, that's the curve. This is the curve out of what we left in the deck. Now, I actually switched the leader up. The leader we're going to be using is this Goku. So, Son Goku, when this attacks a leader card, you may choose 1 Goku's lineage in your hand, place it in your drop area. If you do so, draw 2 cards. Super nice. We've seen this effect with Harudugun and stuff like that. It's super strong. This allows you to filter out extra cards you have in your hand, or extra cards you don't need in your hand after you've done certain things, and draw more and draw into what you need. If you have 4 or less life, choose up to 2 of your energy, switch into active mode, and awaken this guy. He goes into Legacy Bearer. Son Goku. He doesn't actually even look like Son Goku in his picture, to be honest. I know he's from GT, but is he from GT? No, he's actually from... that blue Gi just really throws me for a loop. I think this is actually when he fights Maju, or... yeah, Maju. Oob. So, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, and then choose one of your Goku's lineage in your battle area, and the chosen card gains plus 5,000 for the duration of turn. So this powers up, obviously, any of the guys, especially the weaker ones that are only 15 or 10,000, which is super nice. And it just, like, automatically, when he attacks, you basically sense you being something else. That's super nice. Super nice. Plus, his small effect is super beautiful. So this is your leader. This is your new leader. Now, we've added 2 more cards to your turn 4. We've added 2 copies of Discovered Dynasty Son Gohan. He's a 5 swap for 3. He has Barrier, and when you play this card with swap, draw 2 cards. He's pretty much your, what's the Vegeta called? He's Prince of Speed, basically. Prince of Speed. When you swap him out, boom, you get the draw. So we added 2 of these in the deck. Again, I added 2 of these. Obviously, this is the better choice over this Goku. For the most part, this one does have its uses where it can attack and then untap. But again, we're kind of just thinking a new player, something like that. This is obviously what you're going to be going to go for in the long term. So we have 2 level 4s again to go into the level 5. Next, we have another set of level 5s. So we have 4 copies of Abrupt Great Breakthrough Son Goku. So this is swap 4 for 8, or 8. You swap 8 for 4 cost. It has barrier, and when you activate this skill, when one of your Goku's lineage with an energy cost of 5 or more is removed from the battlefield due to an opponent's skill. So, one of the weak things about this card here is it doesn't have barrier as opposed to a lot of the other cards in the deck. So it's easily targetable by skills. If you're playing around with this and your opponent's like, you know what, blow it up with I don't know, Mass Saiyan, blow it up with Fu, something like that. You get to special summon this. This is your cheat. This is your cheat. If you have no cards in your battle area, I'm sorry. So, activate the skill when one of your Goku's lineage with 5 or more is removed from the battlefield by an opponent's skill. If you have no cards in the battle area, you may play this card from your hand. So this does prevent you from playing multiple at the same time. But, it's super nice. It's your cheat con into your big guy if you want to. Or, it's just nice. Again, he's big. He has 2700, which is a weird power creep. Weird power creep there. And, he doesn't have double strike, so again, instant transmission. Instant transmission, is that the one I'm thinking of? No, 10 times Kamehameha is going to be one of your beautiful, beautiful friends in this circumstance. So you have 2 level 5, so you're hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then obviously the end all be all is Height of Mastery, Son Goku. So 3500 power, deflect, you can't play counterplays this card isn't affected by counterplay. Triple strike, dual attack. When you play this card with swap, choose a total of 3 of your opponent's battle cards or energy, ignoring barrier, and switch them to rest mode. So most of the time you're probably going to choose energy, especially if you're reversing a Super Saiyan 3 build. The 3 energy that I just untap, you just tap it and then you can go in. You have triple strike plus dual attack. What? What? Absolutely insane. Obviously, you're going to want more copies of this, but like I said, I made this deck idea new player friendly. If you actually don't get a copy of these, you're not boned, because these guys are just strong on their own. But obviously, this is your big boss monster finisher. So after that, your entire curve looks like this. You're going into your 8. So the other cards that we can use to support this whole theme are as follows. You have 2 Successor of Hopes. I didn't add 4 of them in just because, again, they're rare, and again, every deck that's using Bardock and all that kind of stuff is using like 4 copies. So these might actually be harder for a new player to get than it should be for being a rare because of how popular the deck is. It's not a high-priced card, but it if your locals hasn't opened a lot of them, then you know what I mean. So in place, we also have 2 Planet Vegeta. Pretty much does the same thing, but doesn't have the restriction of it have to being 5 or less. So if needed be, this can grab. I'm sorry, no. It does have the restriction of 4 or less. Duh. I'm sorry. Correction. Okay, so we do have Planet Vegeta here. But it can grab you some of the ones that don't have swap, which we're going to get into as well. Because technically, No, I lied. I was thinking of something else. But we're going to get into 4 copies of Scrambling Assault Goten. This is one of those cards that you can grab off Prince Vegeta that you can't grab off the other one. So these have definitely taken a dip in price. So at the time of recording this, these are about $3 a piece. And they've been given out for over a month now. So being able to find these shouldn't be too hard. They don't continue the swap, but this is definitely a card you can think of when you're building the deck, because if you just have that 1 energy, you can go Grandpa Gohan into Scrambling Assault Goten and just get free pluses off of it. It's absolutely insane, pretty awesome, great card, obviously. Next, our other 2, we're using Dodoria, the Emperor's Attendant. No, we're not. This isn't what it's supposed to be. Building the deck, scratch that. Pretend these are Shigesh's. These are supposed to be Shigesh's. I'm so sorry. I grabbed these thinking they were Shigesh's. They were not Shigesh's. So these are supposed to be Shigesh. So Shigesh, unlike the other super combos, if you're new to the game, again, this is targeted towards new players, allows you, instead of getting the draw off the super combo, allows you to play a Saiyan of, I believe, actually, it is 3 or less and play it. So, it allows you to pump out any of your early turn Saiyans, because almost everybody early turn, from Gohan to Goku to your biggest choice is this Gohan. So this Gohan comes in, you play Shigesh, you pop this Gohan in, automatically KO something, because it's going to be in rest mode from attacking. So automatically blow something up, absolutely crazy combo, and you playing 2 and 2 doesn't break you if your opponent does decide to play Krona. So that's one of the super great combos with this deck, and also you can go into something like Sun Goten, something like that, and get 3 pluses off of it, anything like that. Okay, sorry about that. I wanted to make sure I threw Overwhelm in here. I didn't want to throw Trunks in here because, again, though his price isn't high, the package you get him out of and all the kind of stuff like that does make it high. So we threw in some Dark Temptation Toas. There's other choices. I wanted a free Overwhelm card. So this is Overwhelm 3. When you play this card using Overwhelm, if your leader is green or yellow, which it is, you can choose one of your leader cards. It gains 5,000 power, so it makes it stronger for the duration of the turn, and then your opponent chooses one card in their hand and sends it to the drop area. So if you can't plus off of Trunks, make them minus. They choose a card in their hand, discard. So pretty nice. It's also another 1,500 body you can just go in with. We have 2 copies, because we don't have any for sort of untap or anything like that. We have 2 copies of Destructive Occupation Frieza. This is your combo piece. At the end of the battle, which you comboed with this card from your hand, if your leader is yellow, which it is, place this card in rest mode. And then last but not least, like I said, because we're playing the 4 times or 10 times Kamehameha, but just in case, we also have the Champas as well. The Champas as well, because where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where's the 10 times Kamehameha? Yeah. So this is overall not as good as 10 times Kamehameha, so you could add more of these if you want to, but even if you added 2 more of these, you'd still have an open spot left. I still suggest Champa. Having that extra double break is not a bad thing. So I didn't think of that at first, but I still think Champa's a really good card to add for the deck. Again, if it's not one of those things where you don't want to open up 2 structure decks, Champa or 10 times Kamehameha are interchangeable. But that is the deck profile. If you guys like this kind of content, if you like this kind of deck profile where I go over a starter deck and how you can edit it to make it better, more based for new players and stuff like that, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, if you have any decks you want to submit, leave them down in the comment section down below. You can send them over to my email address, or I do have a Discord also in the description box as well, where you can send decks over, and you could be the next review on Deck Tech Tuesday. Guys, hope you have a great day. More Dragon Ball Super TCG videos are coming on the way, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a great day. Bye, guys.